missing like some of the words from the stupid.
Yeah.
And like I said, so you'll have some holes
Treasurer,
Hey,
you're on my cell phone.
okay.
I couldn't get
I
the,
don't know what's going on with y'all's call-in phone, but it's not working.
yes, thank you. Appreciate that. Yes, sir. So, as you're aware, the purpose of this meeting is to consider the items on the agenda for the June meeting of the State Building Commission. Tennessee Code annotated 844-108 provides that if a quorum of members is not physically present at the meeting, other members may be retained for a vote via electronic or other means of communication if certain statutory requirements are met. A determination has been made that electronic communication in this meeting by the members is a necessity based on the following facts and circumstances. The commission has regularly scheduled monthly meetings around which agencies and institutions plan certain of their operational actions, and a 30-day delay will cause an operational hardship for certain of the agencies and institutions having matters on today's agenda. The minutes will reflect that Lieutenant Governor McNally, Secretary Hargett, and Commissioner of Finance Administration Jim Bryson are participating in person. Treasurer Lillard is participating electronically via phone, and Governor Lee, Speaker Sexton, and Comptroller Mumpower are absent.
And at this point, if you could call a roll to make it official.
Yes, sir. Lieutenant Governor McNally,
Here.
Secretary Hargett,
Here.
Commissioner Bryson,
Here.
Treasurer Lillard,
Here.
everybody is present. We have a quorum.
Thank you. And the first item on the agenda,
I would like to state that there have been no requests received for public comment. So the first item for approval is the request of the consent agenda items 1 through 14, which have been reviewed and recommended for approval by commission staff.
So move.
that's a proper motion, properly seconded.
Seconded.
All in favor, say aye.
I think we got to call.
Oh,
I
I'm
think we're
sorry.
called. Lieutenant Governor McNally,
Aye.
Secretary Hargett, Commissioner Bryson,
Aye.
Treasurer Lillard.
Aye.
We have unanimous approval of that item.
I deemed it approved.
Next, I'd like to introduce the Department of Transportation and Commissioner Butch Ely here to present their item.
Commissioner Ely, good to have you with us.
Governor, appreciate so much being before this body today and the members present here, as well as Treasurer on the line. So thank you all for being here. So I'll start by officially saying that we would very much appreciate the approval of this project utilizing the energy savings performance contracting delivery method that we have been discussing for some time at this meeting today. And so that's the official request. But I'll say just a couple of things as we move into this. You know, this body has had a lot of discussions over the last 7 years that I have been here about how we effectuate a more speedy delivery system of our projects. And I will say that that has certainly been something that I know that this group has been wanting to do and continuing to push to do for some time, as the governor, in trying to make sure that we've got a delivery model that is quicker. One of the things that this delivery model does is present us an opportunity to have basically another tool in the toolbox. And so that's what we're seeking here today. An example that is kind of close, not exact, is what we were able to do through TDOT in the response to Hurricane Helene, in being able to effectuate an immediate response and to be able to get boots on the ground and to get bridges rebuilt and roads rebuilt in a very time consuming manner. And so we appreciate the opportunity to put this before you today. I think that this approach allows private sector investment to be able to allow us to speed projects faster. It doesn't help us to not put projects forward in a timely manner because we don't have the dollars to do it. If we have an approach that allows us to do this in a way that we can save taxpayer money in the future by being able to do it now versus later. So our Director of Asset Management, Justin Underwood, is with us today. We've got representatives from General Services that can answer any technical questions that you may have, but just appreciate your consideration of this matter before you today. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for your efforts on Upper East Tennessee. Y'all did a great job.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Thank you,
your
sir.
efforts. Department of Safety, Department of Homeland Security, TBI, all those that were involved in helping out up there. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Discussion.
Can I ask a question?
Yes. You're
Thank
recognized.
you, Governor McNally. Hey, you were talking about how we've been discussing this for quite some time, not particularly this project, but this method. We were kind of racking our brain earlier to try and figure out how long ago that was.
Well, I just know that over the course of our time, or my time together as a member of the building commission, there were a lot of questions asked over a number of projects about delays, how we could help with that, and there's been a lot of efforts over the years to move that process forward and faster, and we made a number of different directions to be able to do that, as well as be able to be more accurate in the predictions or forecasting of what the cost may be. Because as you all remember, I mean, there were a number of things that were coming in way over the cost of the original prediction or forecast of the cost of the projects. And so I think we made a lot of improvements over the last few years as to how we can better that and get more accurate depiction of what the cost will be and what the timeline would be. And so this is an effort to be able to have another tool in the toolbox to do that.
Yeah, I didn't ask my question the right way, Commissioner. And do you remember how when we passed or when we really gave them the tool in the toolbox to be able to do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I believe the legislation passed, looking at the screen, I think 22. And
That's
then-
okay. That's more
and then
recent than I
money
thought.
was added to it in 23.
Yeah, this was back during the governor's first term, toward the end of his first term. But I think being a new tool, it's understandable. Departments have just been educated and
Yeah.
are understanding and learning how it can be a benefit to go ahead and get projects moved out quicker. And so this is the first one. And so we're glad to be able to have this as an option.
Yeah, it wasn't a criticism. I was just trying to
Yeah,
see how my memory was.
Yeah.
And in this case, I found out it wasn't very good. So thank you.
Further discussion? See none? Miss Ann, if you could, call the roll.
Certainly. Lieutenant Governor McNally,
Aye.
Secretary Hargit, Commissioner Bryson,
Aye.
Treasurer Lillard.
Aye.
We have unanimous approval of this item.
That item is approved. Next item, Miss McGarren.
Yes, I'd like to present the Department of General Services and Deputy Commissioner John Hall to present this next item.
Mr. Hull, you're recognized.
Good morning, Lieutenant Governor Nally and members of the commission. We have one item on page 5 of the agenda for your review and consideration. We are asking for your approval of a project and proceeding with the process to select a designer to renovate the state-owned 235,000 square foot building located at 220 French Landing in Metro Center. This building has been the main headquarters for the Department of Labor and Workforce Development for many years. The Department of Labor has implemented their Alternative Workplace Solutions, or AWS, plans over the past few years, and they have decided to reduce their space needs significantly. In order to use that vacant space in the building, we are asking for your approval to use funding from our Facilities Revolving Fund or FERF reserves to renovate the building. This project, when it is complete in about 3 years, will allow the Department of Children's Services to relocate from leases at the UBS building on Dedrick Street in downtown Nashville and the 200 Athens Way lease in Metro Center to the 220 French Landing building, which will save approximately $3.9 million a year in lease payments at the time of their departure. We ask for your approval.
So moved.
That's a proper motion. Is there a properly seconded? Questions? Don't hear any. Miss Ann, if you could call the roll.
Certainly. Lieutenant Governor McNally,
Aye.
Secretary Hargit, Commissioner Bryson,
Aye.
Treasurer Lillard.
Aye.
We have unanimous approval of that item.
Thank you.
Deemed it approved. Next item, Miss McGarren.
Next, I'd like to approve the minutes, request approval of the minutes of the State Building Commission meeting, which was held on May 8th, 2025.
So moved.
Proper motion, properly seconded. Any additions or corrections? I hear none. Miss Ann, if you could call the roll.
Certainly. Lieutenant Governor McNally,
Aye.
Secretary Hargit,
Aye.
Commissioner Bryson,
Aye.
Treasurer Lillard.
Aye.
We have unanimous approval of that item.
That stands approved. Next item, Miss Ann.
Next, I'd like to report items approved by the Office of the State Architect in accordance with the SBC bylaws, policies, and procedures. These include 13 change orders, 2 acquisitions of land in fee, 1 revision in source of funding for an acquisition of land, and 1 disposal easement. I'd also like to report 1 designer additional service request as submitted by Stream, the quarterly report of the Advisory Board of the Metro Nashville District Energy System in accordance with item 13.01 of the SBC bylaws and policies and procedures. Those are our report items.
Any discussion on the report items? I hear none. Those reports are received. And
Personal privilege.
yes, you may.
Thank you, Governor McNally. I just
Treasurer.
wanted to note that former state representative and now mayor of the great town of Cleveland, Tennessee, Kevin Brooks, has joined us today. Welcome, Mayor Brooks.
Good to have you with us, Mayor Brooks. Miss you in the house. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else?
There is no further business for the commission.
Move we adjourn.
That's a proper motion, properly seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We stand in adjournment. Thank you.
The meeting's adjourned.
Oh.
Sorry for the challenges connecting.